right, folks. Thanks for staying tuned. You're definitely not going to regret it. In the studio, as we speak, joining us, Landry and Company, some of the local talent here in DeSoto Parish. They're going to be in Logansport this weekend at the Texaco Country Showdown. They'll be at the Last Chance Remote in the competition as well, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. Steve, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us, telling us about you guys. First up, I guess let's do a little introduction to get to know you guys a little bit. It's sort of where are you from, who plays what, who does what, and all that sort of stuff.
I'm Steve Wilkinson. The band, we're from Stonewall, Louisiana, just north of Mansfield here. I play drums in this band. Of course, today I kind of brought an acoustic guitar with me. But I played drums in different bands throughout the years. I grew up playing drums. My dad played drums, you know, and when I was a kid, I was playing in country bands out at the American Legions and VFWs and private parties, you know, and making money. And now these boys, they're up playing. Both of them. They both play drums, but they both had their specialized instruments too, you know, guitars and bass. And I'll let them tell you about that.
And who do we have here playing guitar for us this morning?
I'm Landry Wilkinson. I'm 14. I've been playing for about 5 years.
Okay.
Kind of got interested whenever I was about 8. I got my first guitar whenever I was 8. My dad wanted to see if I wanted to stick with it. I started with drums. He started showing me how to play drums. And I wanted to get more into music, and he got me a guitar, and I started taking lessons whenever I was about 9. And I've been going from there.
Cool beans.
I'm Carlos Wilkinson. I'm 8. I've been playing bass for about 2 years, piano for about 1 year, and my dad, I didn't take piano lessons. Well, I did take piano lessons. I took it right before Christmas, and I didn't have bass lessons, so my dad taught me, and I kept wanting to play in church. One day, whenever he taught me this one song, he went to the fire station to work. I came back and I had every note down, and I got to play in church.
That's awesome stuff. So Steve, you've been playing for how many years is it now?
Oh man, I've been playing drums all my life.
Or anything,
yeah, for a long time. I just started picking up a guitar about the time Landry started playing guitar. Like he said, he started when he was about 8 or 9. I got him in lessons with Jerry Beach out of Shreveport, and Jerry's a Louisiana Hall of Fame guitar player. Matter of fact, he wrote the song "I'll Play the Blues for You." It's been recorded by Albert King and a lot of different guitarists through the years. And Jerry initially taught Landry, and he stayed with Jerry for a few years, and then we got him in with Jimmy Johnson out of Shreveport. Jimmy's taking him to another level on his guitar playing, and I've just kind of learned through the years a little bit of what Landry does on guitar, but actually Landry's far surpassed me. It's funny because if we both start playing guitars, I'll try to do a lead, and he'll look at me and laugh, and then he'll tear me up on it. With Cardis over there, he's 8. He started playing bass when he was about 6. Like he said, I was in there working up a song I was going to do for church one day, and he pulled out my big bass guitar, and he said, "Daddy, show me that song." And so I showed him the notes on bass, and I went to work. 24 hours later, I come home, and he said, "Let's play that song again." And it had a lot of chord changes in it, and man, he nailed the song. So he got to play it in church, and then I bought him the scaled down bass for Christmas that year, and he's been playing it ever since. And he just picked it up, and it's funny some of the stuff that he does on bass. Matter of fact, I was listening to one of our songs that we recorded at home. Matter of fact, it was a cover tune. We were doing Jambalaya, Hank Williams song, and man, he was tearing that bass up on that song.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm a bass player too, so to see a young kid like Cardis over here really take to it and really just go with it. It's really awesome to see. I mean, the sky's the limit for both of you guys, Landry and for Cardis. just seeing some of the videos on YouTube and how well he played. But you know, Landry, obviously the guitar player here. Is that sort of the premise or the idea behind the name Landry Company?
Well, the name Landry Company, I was in a band for a long time called Overdrive. Matter of fact, based out of Mansfield here with a man named Mr. Lynn Benning. And, you know, Landry kind of grew up listening to what we did with Overdrive. And we did a lot of the southern rock, classic rock, country-ish feel type stuff. And, you know, Landry started playing guitar. So when we would have jams or stuff at the house, whether I was with Overdrive or whatever band I was playing with, Landry would come out there and play. So at festivals and things like that he could get in at, man, he's been on stage since he was probably 6 years old, you know, singing and playing guitar with us, you know. So we started playing as Landry and Company, and it was Landry on guitar, and I would play guitar, and another friend of ours would play bass, and another friend of ours would play drums, and we called that Landry and Company. Well, really the company was Cardis, you know, and we didn't realize at the time Cardis was, you know, being born and coming up. We didn't realize that Cardis was actually going to be the company. So the name really, it stuck and it fit, you know.
Let's talk about maybe some of your influences musically. You know, all musicians have bands that they look to as sort of inspiration and that sort of thing. So I guess we'll start with you. Maybe some of your, you know, people, artists, bands that you've grown up listening to that really feel like have influenced your music abilities and your style. So we'll start with you, and then we'll go to Landry and ask him maybe some guitarists that he really looks up to.
I'd probably say, and it never gets old, my ultimate idols or people that I would look up to would be Leonard Skinner. I've always been a Skinner fan. You know, you can't get any better than Skinner. You know, if you're playing a gig and you don't know what to play, just play a Skinner song. It always goes over well. On the little more country side of it, I like the old Alabama. You know, I remember when I was a kid, my dad's band played a gig with Alabama at Hamels Park. And I remember sitting over there, and those guys come over there and sat down, ate watermelon with me, and, you know, hung out with me being a little kid. And like I said, I don't know about Landry. I mean, I've got more probably rock influences than I do anything, even though I grew up playing country music. I'm a big fan of Ted Nugent and ZZ Top. That was Landry's first concert. He got to hang out with Ted Nugent and everything, and that was pretty cool. So I'll let him tell you about that.
Yeah, lead guitarists, or I guess always have influences. Big guitarists that you know have come before. You know, so Landry, what maybe are some that you feel like you've sort of you know modeled after or look up to as far as guitar playing?
Well, some of the people that I look up to is people like Stevie Ray Vaughn, Johnny Cash, James Burton mostly. I listen, like my dad said, I'd listen to their band play, and they had a guitarist, Brandon Long. I'd listen to him. He'd have like these phenomenal licks that he would do. I mean, I'd sit there and I'd try to copy some of them after I got my guitar, and then I'd start listening to stuff like Johnny Cash and stuff. I started listening to older stuff, and I tried to pick up some of that, and I started listening to Stevie Ray Vaughn. Listened to that, picked up a lot of that, learned a lot of their songs, and just kind of enjoyed all of it together.
Right. What about Cardis? What does he? I know you know 8 years old. There's not a lot of musical time to really absorb a whole lot of stuff. But what about Cardis?
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Well, I've listened to a lot of music, and pretty much my favorite, like my dad said, maybe some ZZ Top, some Leonard Skinner, stuff like that. But maybe some Southern rock blues, maybe for mine, because I come up with these little walk ups and walk downs, and my dad just gets all happy about them. And I just don't know why. But he just likes that kind of music, like me and stuff. And I mostly like blues. And my brother, he's into Elvis a little bit, and that's what inspired me with some blues. And
Big Elvis fans. We love
yeah, who isn't an Elvis fan? That's
Right.
that's probably an easier question.
And,
Who
you know,
isn't?
we play a lot around Shreveport, and with James Burton being from Shreveport, he's
Yeah,
such a nice
right.
guy, and he's so good to the kids and everything. You know, you gotta be a
Exactly,
Burton fan.
Real quick before we get into the upcoming events for you guys, if you were to sort of give us a couple words that best describes your sound when you're playing live, when you're recording, what's